Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you're here joining me today. So, we're going to get into the Oracle reading. I will say, update wise, last night I had my second dream that I remembered in my life. Normally, if you don't already know, I do say this often that when I do dream, it is rare. And the times that I do, I am perpetually falling. I don't land, I don't crash, I just keep falling. And I think it was around July 14th is when I first documented the first dream I remembered. And it was in the middle of the night that I woke up. And I did video journal the dream, the experience. And last night, I had yet another dream that was far more detailed, involved, and the storyline was quite exciting, interesting, and a little disturbing. But I am all about disrupting the mind, so I'm not shocked when I have disruptive dreams. But I just wanted to mention that it was quite eye-opening last night, and I did wake up from the dream and immediately turn on my camera and make a video journal detailing the dream. This has definitely been an experience I have never had in my life, and I'm all in for it. It's quite exciting. So if you guys have had any similar experiences, I welcome you to share them below, because this is quite the journey, definitely. So we're going to get into the Sacred Rebel, one of my favorites. I had this for a while. It's really good if you're doing your shadow work currently and you're in the thick of it. It really gives you some good guidance and suggestions. And we're going to go ahead and see what the Oracle has to say. Now, the card that came out is Spirals of Manifestation, number 18. I'm going to show you what that looks like in my hand so you can see it. It's quite the beautiful card. All right, let us begin. The creative, rebellious path of love moves in spirals. It is not linear. Sometimes our mind decides that the way forward is to take clear steps from one point to the next logical point. However, there is a genius within that can guide us on an alternative route. If there is an unnecessary pothole or delay in the typical linear path of progression, and the curved loop in the path will be quicker, more fun, and more beautiful, then why not allow yourself to be guided to that path? This can happen through trust and wisdom rather than rigid adherence to what's on the surface that appears to be logical progression. You are in the midst of a spiral of manifestation. Something is coming into being, even if you think it's further away than ever before. How amazing it will seem when what you have been dreaming of falls into place. Suddenly, what you have been thinking of creating will plunk into your reality seemingly out of nowhere. Because it was just around the bend, just out of view on the spiral of manifestation, and you could not see it coming. In truth, it was coming to you all along. This oracle has a message for you. Sometimes when we feel the furthest away from what we want, we are actually closer than ever before. Just one turn on the spiral loop of creation can see your manifestations taking root in the world. You must hold true to your faith and keep working on your progress. Forget about believing it when you are seeing it. An old soul or a young soul can do it. You are bigger, braver, more ancient soul. You have enough chutzpah to believe it so that you can see it sooner, bigger and brighter. Do not give in to those who tell you it should have happened already or that you have failed. They are just suffering from a lack of patience and understanding, as well as an arrogant assumption that their notion of timing is somehow superior to the greater divine timing at play in life. Be in goodwill with yourself and the universe. All is unfolding perfectly, whether you feel it now or not. This oracle brings a message to you about perfect synchronicities that are taking place in your life. You may have started to notice these already. When we live from the heart, honor our creative center, and choose unlikely but lovingly rebellious ways to be in the world, we will begin to notice synchronicities every day. It is as though the universe is speaking to us intimately on all matters, which of course it is. This oracle reminds you that there is no point rushing to the bus stop. If you are way too early, you are just wasting your time. Better to live your life at a more appropriate pace and get there the right time. You don't need the anxiety that comes from rushing towards your destiny. Try not to worry quite so much about the future. You will attract what you want and need so much more enjoyably if you relax and deal with the here and now. Remember, too, that your life path is unfolding in harmony with the path of others. You will meet with each other for the greater benefit when you trust in the flow of the one great creative spiral upon which this galaxy spins. Everything is ultimately in harmony with everything else to fulfill the great, big, creative intent of the supreme creative force of love. You're included in that, lucky. And the healing process that's outlined is say, spirals of creation, spirals of light, you bring my manifestations to life. I trust in your wisdom and in your grace. Help me be wise and keep the faith. Repeat as needed. We've actually gotten this card recently before too, if you remember, if you were listening or not. But this one came out a few days ago too. Interesting. Spirals of manifestation. Well, that was a good message. So now we're going to get into the Work Your Light Oracle. This is another good one. This is a shorter one, of course, but it's a good one to have handy. And the one that we got was Sisterhood of the Ruse, Beauty and Devotion, Priestess, Mystic, Teacher. That's the card for today. And even though sometimes you can get these cards repeatedly, there's a reason why you need to hear that message. Don't skip over it. If you have an oracle and you're like, oh, I got this card on Tuesday and it's Thursday, read it because Spirit is telling you that this is a message you need to hear. All right, let's get into it. The Sisterhood of Roses is a lineage of priestesses and mystics who devoted their lives to serve humanity and seeding light consciousness all over the earth, a cross-section of ancient lineage. It is a path of devotion and beauty. Walking this path means being devoted to seeing and creating beauty wherever you go. The rose symbolizes the heart and the sacred geometry of all life. You are being called to notice the beauty around you, particularly in nature, and hear the whisper of Mother Earth. You are being called to spend more time in nature as all the ancient secrets live there. Mother Earth is constantly whispering, spend time admiring her creation, and you will be rewarded with insight and grace. You are being called to take a little more time to both notice the beauty that exists all around you and contribute to the beauty of the world in your own way too. This could be through your own creation or in the little things like how you dress or picking flowers for your home. Every time you devote your time to creating beauty, you harmonize the planet a little more and the shift in vibration can be felt. And the Work Your Light activation is surround yourself with beauty and create beauty wherever you go. That was lovely. That was really lovely. So we're going to do now, and it's true. It's important to get out in nature. It's important to spend some time in nature. It helps clear your mind. A lot of times, if you're feeling overwhelmed, even just going for a walk, just take a breath of fresh air. Get out there amongst the trees, the grass. I'm going to try tomorrow to actually go on a short hike that's pretty close by to my home. If not, I'll take a walk around the neighborhood. I live in the mountains, so it's a beautiful walk no matter where you walk. But I really was looking forward to doing the hike because the last time, I'll tell you a story. The last time I was going to go on the hike was when I was having that negative effect of the caffeine. I actually had went and got a caffeinated beverage in the morning, and when I was driving to go to the hike, I literally wasn't able to drive the car. I was just having such bad side effects, and I was having this side effect for about a week, and I just kept pushing it. I knew it was the caffeine, but I kept wanting to deny it. I'm like, there's no way that all of a sudden, all my life, I've been drinking caffeine, and suddenly I cannot drink caffeine. And it's the same thing that happened with the medical marijuana. Like, just I can't even consume that anymore. I get this really paranoid, reactive. It's awful. And the same thing happened with the caffeine. I have not touched caffeine in probably, I don't know, 2 weeks, and I feel amazing, totally normal. I haven't had one problem. I won't even go near anything caffeinated. Um, if you're going through this or you're starting to go through this type of a path, you are going to find yourself being off put by certain foods. You're going to notice that you cannot tolerate certain substances that you once did. Like, I took marijuana since I was, a teenager and never had any adverse effects or any issues. And when the blue moon happened on May 31st, my whole life changed. I was no longer able to do that. I was having Kundalini. I then most recently, was the caffeine. Um, I was I was driving to go take my hike, and I had to turn my car around because my head didn't feel right. It felt like I was going to go, like, crash my car. It was the weirdest feeling. And this would happen every time I would drink caffeine. And I just wasn't getting the hint because I'm a stubborn ass. So sometimes God has to drill it in me a few times before I get the point. And I got the point that day because I felt like I was going to end up in the pond. I was in a country road, and I'm like, okay, I'm going. My eyes are going. My head's going. I'm about to crash. I'm going to end up right in that pond that's ahead of me. And I literally felt like the spirit had made me spin my car around in this intersection, like I had no control. And as I started heading back home, I started to feel relief. I started to feel a little bit better. And I got the message that day. I have never touched caffeine since that moment. So that's my little story. I like sharing it because I think so many people go through this and are like, what is happening? Why am I getting sick? And then, I even ended up at the ER at one point, all the way in DC. I had driven 3 hours to pick up my son, ended up in the ER because I had the same effect. I had caffeine, and I had the same thing happen. The ambulance came because I couldn't drive my car. I was like an hour outside of the airport, and they found absolutely nothing wrong with me. My heart, everything was fine. Everything was healthy. And it finally connected. I was like, okay, it's a caffeine. And then I tried one more time. And that's when I was driving to go on the hike. That was near my home. Thankfully, I wasn't too far. And yeah, so if you're going on this path, you're going to run into things like this. So be prepared. Listen to your body. Don't be like me. Don't keep fighting it. Just listen to your body. Do not be like me. Okay, so I pulled an angel number, and I got two because Spirit was like, flip the deck. So, I do what Spirit tells me. Do what the angels tell me. And the first card that came out was 319, relationships. Bring forth new love. Your angels are asking you to unblock your energy now. If you are in a romantic relationship, do something to reinforce the bond between you and that significant other. If you are single, this is prime time to bring forth new love. Sit in meditation right now for a few moments as you visualize the white light of divine shining on your heart chakra, clearing out any debris that blocks loving energies from coming to you. And, a lot of times, depending on what you've been through in your life, you can unknowingly block love from your life because you have to love yourself to be able to be receptive to accepting love. And a lot of us don't know how to love ourselves because we didn't experience unconditional love. So don't beat yourself up. It's a process. But make sure you open yourself up to love. And if you're in a relationship, make sure that you're doing something special or even articulating it to that person how much you do deeply care about them. Because the words do matter just as much as the actions do. So that's really important. Then Spirit said, flip the deck. And I did, and the angels delivered. 844, safe. Feel secure in the divine. Your angels want you to feel secure and safe in their watchful presence. You've been given an abundance of blessings recently. See these blessings and count them. As you do, say a prayer to the angels for gifting them to you. No blessing is too small to count. Oftentimes we can forget how blessed we are because many of us are blessed, but it's hard to see that through the pain at times. So take some time this weekend or whenever you're watching this, it is timeless, to be appreciative of the blessings that you currently have in your life. That is so important because when you're grateful, more blessings arrive. I learned this in life. I can tell you a blessing story. I had a friend, a very dear friend, who came to visit with his family for a special event that was taking place for me at my church. And he wanted to be present to support me, and I thought that was very nice. And he participated as well, so it was very meaningful. But anyway, I digress. As he was trying to do stuff around my home, I felt immense guilt. Like, oh, I can take care of that. You don't have to do that. I'm okay. Oh, don't do that. I kept running after him, trying to get him to stop doing these little fixer things around my house. He figured he was in town, and he was a type of man who, always wanted to be doing something. And he stopped me and looked me straight in the face and said, do you realize how ungrateful you are? And I was kind of off put and offended, but I listened. I respected him, so I wasn't going to be difficult about it. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, every time you try to stop me from doing something that I know will bless you, you are tearing the blessings from me. And that resonated so much with me because I know that feeling because I like to do things for people. And it does make me feel very blessed when I'm able to help someone. And I was tearing that away from him by not being grateful that he was just doing it without being prompted. And he was so nice and had such a sweet heart that he would care about me so much that he would want to do that just out of the kindness of his heart. And that he felt very blessed that he could do that for me. And I learned a lot that day. He humbled me in a way that I hadn't been humbled in my life. And I forever took those words with me. And I always remember that when somebody is helping me, I don't immediately push them off and be saying things like, oh, no, you don't have to do that. Yeah, they know I can do it myself. That's not the point. They want to do it because they care about you that much, that their heart wants to do it just willingly. They don't feel any obligation. They just want to do it because they feel blessed when they do. And yeah, that's just the story I wanted to share. Okay, so let's get into the final card, commitment. This is what this one looks like, commitment. All right, let's go ahead and read this one. Okay. My thoughts, actions, words, and deeds support my commitment. The angels ask you to evaluate your commitments to others carefully as you enter this new phase. Get rid of anything that weighs down your spirit. This could mean leaving draining jobs, commitments, or habits behind. Yeah, I mean, if you have anything in your life that is holding you back, it's really important to release those things because they become weights. They hold you back. And you have to open yourself up to receive. So if you're clogged up with stuff that is karmic or toxic or doesn't add to your life in a positive way, in a good way, and benefit, all it is doing is depleting you of your energy and consuming you in the worst ways possible. It may be time to release those things. And it could be people in your life. It could be habits, it could be circumstances, it could be patterns, behaviors, it could be relationships, it could be jobs, it could be, being overly scheduled in your life, or maybe you're not doing enough actively to be proactive in what you want to do. Whatever that looks like, it's good to like always, do an audit of your life, of your day, and see, are these things supposed to be in my life? Or do I need to start releasing things so I can open up space for those things that are meant to come towards me, to magnify towards me, to come into my life? Because if you don't have the space, it's not going to come. That's just a fact. All right. Well, this was wonderful. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoyed spending some time with all of you. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the weekend. If you're watching this when it's posted, it's a Friday night. And I am going to definitely do some reading and going to catch up on some stuff and get ready for the weekend. I hope you all are doing well, and blessings.